Welcome to Space Matrix. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Bordering countries like China, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and the Philippines. It's one of the world's busiest shipping routes. Trillions of dollars in trade pass through here every year. Any disruption could send shockwaves through the global economy, making goods more expensive and harder to find. Beneath its surface lie rich reserves of oil and natural gas, making the sea a prize for energy-hungry nations. The area also supports millions of people who depend on fishing for their livelihoods. For the Philippines, these waters, known locally as the West Philippine Sea, are a lifeline and a core part of national identity. Filipino fishermen have relied on these waters for generations, and the country's future energy security may depend on resources found here. The sea's strategic location also makes it a military hotspot, with nations eager to protect their interests and coastlines. Naval patrols and military outposts are common, raising the stakes for any conflict. Any clash here could quickly draw in major world powers, making stability in the South China Sea a global concern. Understanding its value in trade, resources, and security explains why so many nations, especially the Philippines, fiercely defend their claims. The South China Sea is more than a map, it's a crossroads of commerce, culture, and conflict. China claims almost the entire South China Sea using the so-called Nine-Dash Line, a sweeping U-shape on its maps. China says its claim is based on centuries-old historical records, arguing these waters have always been part of its territory. But the Philippines and other neighbors reject this, pointing to modern international law. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, gives coastal states an exclusive economic zone, 200 nautical miles from their shores. Much of the area China claims falls within the Philippines' EEZ, creating a direct conflict. The Philippines insists that UNCLOS, not old maps, should decide who controls the sea's resources. In 2016, the Philippines took China to an international tribunal in The Hague. The tribunal ruled overwhelmingly in favor of the Philippines, declaring China's Nine-Dash Line had no legal basis. It found China had violated the Philippines' sovereign rights in its EEZ. China rejected the ruling and refused to participate, deepening the divide. This legal standoff is at the heart of the ongoing dispute. The Philippines sees the ruling as a victory for international law and its people. China's refusal to accept the outcome keeps tensions high. The world is watching to see which rules will prevail, history or law. The Philippines has taken bold steps to assert its rights in the South China Sea. It released a new official map, labeling its EEZ as the West Philippine Sea, a move meant to reinforce its legal claims and national identity. This map is now used in government, schools, and official documents, educating Filipinos and the world about the country's maritime entitlements. The government regularly files diplomatic protests against Chinese incursions, making its opposition clear. The map is a visual rejection of China's Nine-Dash Line and a rallying point for national unity. Philippine officials use it in international meetings to clarify the dispute and build support. Teaching this geography in schools ensures future generations understand what's at stake. The map is more than a symbol, it's a tool for diplomacy and a statement of resolve. The Philippines is determined to defend its territory, using law and education as its main weapons. The message is clear: the West Philippine Sea is part of the nation's future. The South China Sea dispute often turns dangerous at sea. Chinese Coast Guard and militia vessels regularly patrol and block Philippine ships, leading to tense standoffs. Philippine supply boats heading to outposts like Ayungin Shoal have faced water cannon attacks and harassment. China's construction of artificial islands, complete with military runways and radar, has changed the landscape and raised military stakes. Filipino fishermen are chased from their traditional grounds, losing income and risking their safety. The Philippine government tries to protect its people, but the sheer scale of China's presence makes it a daunting task. These confrontations are a daily reminder of the high stakes in the South China Sea. For coastal Filipinos, the South China Sea dispute is personal. Fishing is their main source of income, but Chinese harassment has made traditional grounds dangerous or off-limits. Many return home with empty nets, causing hardship for families and entire communities. Fish prices rise and local economies suffer as catches dwindle. Anxiety and fear are constant companions for fishermen who worry about their safety every time they set out. Some are forced to fish closer to shore, leading to overcrowding and smaller catches. The conflict has turned a once reliable livelihood into a daily struggle for survival. For thousands, the sea is now a place of fear, not just hope. The world is watching the South China Sea. The United States supports freedom of navigation, sending warships through disputed waters to challenge China's claims. Allies like Japan, Australia, and the UK back the Philippines and stress the importance of the 2016 tribunal ruling. Joint military exercises show international commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. ASEAN, which includes the Philippines and other claimants, is negotiating a code of conduct with China, but progress is slow. International bodies like the UN and G7 call for peace and respect for UNCLOS. Global support gives the Philippines crucial diplomatic backing. The dispute is a test of whether international law or power will shape the region's future. The world's attention puts pressure on China and strengthens the Philippines' resolve. The Philippines stands firm for its sovereignty and future. Defending the West Philippine Sea is about national pride, resources, and the rights of future generations. The 2016 arbitral victory is the country's legal foundation, and it hopes international support will eventually sway China. By documenting Chinese actions and sharing evidence, the Philippines uses transparency and law as its main defenses. The goal is peace, not conflict, a sea where fishermen work safely and nations cooperate. The Philippines believes that by holding its ground today, it's paving the way for a more secure tomorrow. The hope is for a region where disputes are settled by dialogue, not intimidation. In the South China Sea, the Philippines is determined to defend its rights and shape a just future.